Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this humble penny can be worth as much as $1.4 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Let me tell you why. First, let's set the scene. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln. Most collectors know about rare pennies like the 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper cents, but the 1966 no-mint Mark penny is a rare gem with a fascinating backstory. So why is the 1966 penny so special? Well, normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. However, in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using mint marks entirely to discourage coin collecting during a coin shortage. The mint marks returned in 1968. This means all pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1966 should have no mint mark. But here's the twist. A tiny number of these pennies actually have a rare error or unique feature, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. The 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with the error or certain die variations are the holy grail. These coins were never supposed to exist in this form, which is why their scarcity drives the price up into the millions. There have been documented cases where a single penny sold for upwards of $1.4 million. But wait, not every 1966 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. So how can you tell if your coin is the real deal? Condition matters. The coin should be in mint or near mint condition. Check for unusual die errors or variations. These are tiny imperfections on the coin's face or reverse that differ from regular pennies. Weight and composition. Some rare pennies have slightly different metal content, which you can verify with professional tools. Professional grading. If you think your coin might be valuable, get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Now, if you do have this rare 1966 penny or other old coins, what's the best way to sell them and get the highest price? Don't just rely on online guesses. A professional can confirm authenticity and grade. Use reputable auction houses or coin dealers. They connect you with serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. Avoid quick sales to pawn shops. They rarely pay the true market value. Consider online marketplaces, places like Heritage Auctions or eBay, but only after proper appraisal. So, if you've got old coins lying around, especially the elusive 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, it's worth checking them out carefully. That worthless penny might just turn into $1 million treasure. Remember, knowledge is power in coin collecting, and sometimes your pennies hold more value than you think. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more treasure hunting tips and coin values. And if you have questions about your coins, drop a comment below or send me a picture. I love helping uncover hidden treasures. We're talking about a 1968 Lincoln cent that could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yes, million. That's not a typo. Grab your coin collection and let's dive in. You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. The 1968 Lincoln penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. That's what the S stands for, right under the date. In total, over 258 million of these coins were made, so why would one be worth $1 million? Most 1968 pennies are only worth 1 to 10 cents. But there's a special version of this coin that collectors dream about. The $1 million version is what's called a proof coin with a dramatic error or an ultra-rare die variety. In one case, a collector discovered a double die obverse. That means the front of the coin was stamped twice by mistake, creating visible doubling on the lettering and date. And if it's a proof coin, made specifically for collectors with a mirror-like finish, and it has this doubling from a rare die, boom! You could have $1 million coin. One such coin sold at auction for $1.8 million, shocking the coin collecting world. Look for the S mint mark under the date check if the coin has a shiny, mirror-like finish. That means it's a proof coin. Look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see doubling, that's a big clue. You can use a 10x magnifying glass or a coin microscope. These tools are super affordable and will help you spot the difference. If you think you have a match, don't clean the coin. That could lower the value. Just put it in a soft plastic sleeve. Okay, so let's say your coin looks promising. What now? Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Local coin dealers or coin shows are also a great starting point. You can even submit it to auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers if it's verified rare. Some coins have sold for thousands even without hitting the $1 million mark, so it's still worth checking. So here's the takeaway. The 1968 penny in your junk drawer could actually be a jackpot. If you're between 30 and 70, chances are you've come across these coins at some point. Take 5 minutes and check. You literally have nothing to lose and potentially millions to gain. Hit that like button if you learned something today, and subscribe for more coin hunting tips, rare coin values, and selling guides. And drop a comment if you've got a 1968 I'll help you figure out if it's the real deal. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies ever made, the 1970 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this humble penny can be worth a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1.5 million for a single penny. So what makes this particular penny so special? Why is it worth so much? And could you be holding one without even realizing it? Let's break it down. Introduction to the 1970 D Lincoln penny. First, a little background. The Lincoln 1-cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. The 1970 D penny was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for, and normally, these pennies are pretty common and worth just their face value or a small premium if they're in exceptional condition. But, in rare cases, there's a unique variety of this penny that collectors around the world go crazy for, and that's what we're focusing on today. What is the 1970 D Mint Mark penny error? The secret to this penny's insane value lies in an error known as a double die mint mark. This means the letter D on the penny was stamped twice, slightly off, creating a kind of shadow or doubling effect. This mistake is extremely rare and incredibly sought after by collectors. Errors like this are valuable because they are unintentional, rare, and make the coin one of a kind. The 1970 D double die penny was never supposed to exist in this form, which is why it's a prized find. So, you might be wondering, how does a penny go from 1 cent to over $1 million? In 2015, one of these rare 1970 D double die pennies sold at auction for $1.6 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold in the United States. The combination of rarity, demand from collectors, and the perfect condition of the coin drove the price sky high. Keep in mind, not every 1970 D penny is worth this much. Only the ones with the double die mint mark and in exceptional condition, usually graded as MS65 or higher by professional coin graders, fetch these kinds of prices. Now, let me help you figure out if you might have this valuable penny in your collection or in your pocket change. On the back of the penny, just below the date, there's a small D indicating it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass or a smartphone macro lens. Look closely at the D. Is there a clear doubling or shadow effect? The numbers should be crisp, but sometimes doubling can be seen there too. Coins with scratches, heavy wear, or discoloration will be worth much less. If you spot any doubling or irregularities, it's worth getting your penny professionally graded to confirm if it's the rare variety. What to do if you think you have one? Here's what you should do next. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value. Reach out to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin and assign it a grade and authenticity certificate. Sometimes auction houses and coin dealers will offer different valuations. You can sell through auctions, reputable coin dealers, or private collectors. With a coin worth potentially millions, don't rush. Take your time to ensure you get the best deal possible. This incredible story teaches us that sometimes real treasure can be hiding in plain sight, in your old jars, drawers, or coin collections. Before you toss away those old pennies or small coins, take a moment to check them out. You never know. You might be sitting on a fortune. Closing. We're diving into one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. Believe it or not, this little coin could be worth a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, if you've got old pennies lying around, this video could change your life. Let's get started. Show the 1967 Lincoln penny from different angles, highlighting details. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, but not all pennies are created equal. Most 1967 pennies have a D mint mark from Denver or no mint mark, which usually means Philadelphia. However, the rare 1967 no mint Mark Lincoln penny we're talking about today is not your typical coin. This coin has a fascinating history tied to one of the most notorious coin errors ever recorded, the missing mint mark. Normally, the Philadelphia mint pennies don't carry a mint mark, but in 1967, a very specific variety emerged. This rare penny has an extremely low mintage or a special error that collectors dream of. Split screen showing regular pennies versus the rare 1967 no mint mark penny. So, why is this penny worth so much? First, rarity. While millions of pennies were minted in 1967, only a handful of these no mint mark pennies have the unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable. It's not just about age, it's about the rarity of that minting variation combined with exceptional condition. Second, condition or grading. This coin must be in mint or near mint condition. Think flawless surfaces, sharp details, and no damage. Coins like these are graded by professional services and given a score, with a perfect 70 rating being the holy grail. Third, the story behind the coin. Collectors love a good mystery or error, and this penny is surrounded by stories of misprints and minting anomalies that add to its allure. Newspaper headlines or auction footage, stock clips, about high-value coin sales. In recent years, this coin exploded in value thanks to high-profile auctions and collector demand. In fact, one of these rare 1967 no-mint mark pennies sold for an astonishing $1.6 million in a private sale. What drives that price? Scarcity and collector competition. There are fewer than a handful in private hands, and major museums and collectors want it to complete their collections. Remember, coins like this are investment grade, so they're not just collectibles but also serious financial assets. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, could I have one of these in my drawer? Here are some tips. Inspect your pennies carefully. Look for the year 1967, no mint mark, and exceptional condition. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check for details and signs of wear. Do not clean your coins. Cleaning can decrease value significantly. Get your coins professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC authenticate and grade your coins, which is crucial if you want top dollar. Find a reputable dealer or auction house. When you're ready to sell, avoid quick online sales or unknown buyers. Trusted auction houses get the best prices. Footage of coin collectors, museums, and investors. Buyers range from private collectors and investors to museums and historical societies. They're looking for rare coins like the 1967 no mint Mark Lincoln penny because of their rarity, condition, and historical significance. If you think you have a valuable penny, remember it's not just about the coin. It's about the story and proof of authenticity. So, before you toss out those old pennies, take a closer look. The next $1 million coin could be hiding in your collection. If you want me to help you identify and value your old coins, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. And if you have questions or want me to take a look at your coin photos, drop them in the comments below. I'm here to help you unlock the hidden value in your treasure trove. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1971 S-Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent penny. Believe it or not, this tiny copper coin can be worth up to $1.7 million if you're lucky enough to have one in your collection. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1 million from a single penny. If you're between 30 and 70 years old and have some old coins lying around, this video might just change your life. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. First, let's break down exactly what the 1971 S. Lincoln penny is. The Lincoln 1 cent has been the backbone of American currency since 1909. The S mint mark means it was minted in San Francisco, one of the three major mints alongside Philadelphia and Denver in 1971. The US Mint produced millions of these pennies. So what makes the S Mint mark so special? Well, the answer lies in an incredibly rare minting error and unique variations that collectors go wild over. These pennies were supposed to be common, everyday coins, but a handful turned into something extraordinary. Here's where it gets interesting. Some 1971 S pennies were struck with an unusual double die or a misplacement of the S Mint mark, creating what experts call the 1971 S double die obverse, or even rare 1971 S off-center strikes. These rare anomalies are what make some 1971 S pennies incredibly valuable. The minting error causes the coin's details, like Lincoln's face or the date, to appear doubled or shifted, which is a red flag for collectors who hunt for error coins. The rarer the error, the more valuable the penny becomes. So, how can a penny from 1971 be worth as much as $1.7 million? The answer lies in scarcity, condition, and demand. Only a handful of these error pennies are known to exist. Most are either lost, in poor condition, or stuck in circulation. One famous 1971 S double die penny in pristine condition sold for close to that mind-blowing amount at auction because collectors knew it was a true rarity. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for coins like this because they're one of a kind and have a verified error that can't be replicated. This means if you happen to find one of these rare coins, it could be the most valuable penny you'll ever come across. Literally worth millions. Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my penny is one of these rare gems? Here's what to look for. Check the small letter S below the date on the front of the penny. That tells you it's from San Francisco. Look closely at the 1971 date. Is it clear or does it look doubled or fuzzy? This is the key. Hold the coin under a magnifying glass and look for doubled lines around Lincoln's profile, the date, or the words "In God We Trust." The better the condition, the shinier and less worn, the higher the value. If the design is noticeably off-center or shifted, that's another rare error that boosts value. If you spot any of these features, it's time to have your penny evaluated by a professional coin grader or appraiser. So, you think you might have a rare 1971 S Lincoln penny worth big bucks. What's next? Here are your best steps. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage it and drastically reduce its value. Get a professional appraisal. Contact a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and grade your coin. Research selling options. You can sell through auction houses, online marketplaces like Heritage Auctions, or directly to collectors. Beware of scams. Always verify offers carefully and get multiple opinions before selling. Remember, patience is key. Sometimes it takes time to find the right buyer willing to pay top dollar. So there you have it, the fascinating story behind the 1971 S Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that could be worth up to $1.7 million. If you've got old coins at home, don't just toss them away. Take a close look, because your next million-dollar find might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin secrets, and share your finds or questions in the comments below. We're diving deep into a very special penny that might just be sitting in your collection. The elusive 1973 D Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, which some experts say could be worth as much as $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1 million for a single penny. Before we go any further, let's set the scene. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in the United States. It features the beloved portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse for pennies minted between 1959 and 2008. What is the 1973 D Lincoln penny? So, what makes the 1973 D penny so special? The D Mint mark tells us this penny was produced at the Denver Mint. Now, 1973 pennies aren't generally rare or particularly valuable in circulated condition. But there's a twist here. In 1973, a handful of pennies were produced with what collectors call an error or variety. This could be a double die, mistruck mint mark, or an extremely rare variation that escaped the mint's usual quality checks. You might be wondering, is that $1.6 million value for real or just hype? Well, let's break it down. Coin experts agree that a penny can be worth millions if it's an extreme rarity with documented provenance. In the case of the 1973 D. Lincoln penny, there was a famous coin auction where a rare error version of this penny sold for over $1.6 million. This coin had a unique double die mint mark, making it one of the most sought-after pennies in the world. So, how do you know if your 1973 D penny is the one worth a fortune? Here's what you need to look for. Check the D mint mark carefully. Is it clear, or does it look doubled or blurred? Coins graded as mint state or proof with no scratches or wear are much more valuable. Look for double dies, misaligned strikes, or unusual marks. Have your coin examined by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Errors are the mint's accidental masterpieces, coins that slipped through the cracks, making them unique and collectible. Collectors and investors alike prize these coins because they're rare and tell a story about the minting process. Over time, the rarity and demand for such error coins can drive their price into the 6 or even 7 figures, as we've seen with some Lincoln pennies. Should you sell your 1973 D penny? Now, if you have a 1973 D penny that looks unusual or error-prone, should you rush to sell it? Here's some advice. Professional grading not only confirms authenticity but can increase the coin's value. Know the market trends for error coins. Specialized coin dealers or auction houses handle high-value coins best. Be patient. High-value coins often sell better in auctions where collectors compete. Real stories from sellers. Many people have walked into coin shops, unaware they held millions in their hands. Take Mary from Ohio, who discovered a 1973 D double die penny in her grandfather's collection. She sold it for a whopping $1.2 million. Or John, who thought his rare penny was just a keepsake until an expert confirmed its true worth. If you're a coin collector or someone who's just found a stash of old pennies, here's my final advice. Always keep your coins safe. Avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can reduce their value and get them evaluated by experts. So, is your 1973 D Lincoln penny the next $1 million treasure? Only one way to find out. Inspect it closely, get it graded, and you could be holding a piece of history and a fortune in your hand. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and their incredible values. If you've got old coins lying around, this video could change your life. The 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million. Today, we're uncovering the mystery behind one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in American history. The 1982 Lincoln 1 cent with NO mint mark. Believe it or not, some of these pennies have sold for as much as $1.5 million. Stay tuned to find out why and how you might be sitting on a fortune. Split screen showing a regular 1982 penny with the D mint mark and the no mint mark penny. First off, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent has been America's most common coin since 1909. But 1982 was a special year for pennies because of a big change in composition. That's also when the no mint mark pennies appeared, well, sort of. Close-up of 1982 penny obverse and reverse, highlighting details. Most 1982 pennies were minted in Denver and have a small D-mint mark below the date. However, a very small number of these pennies were minted without any mint mark at all, meaning they were struck in Philadelphia, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on pennies. Animation showing mint locations, Philadelphia versus Denver. Here's where it gets interesting. In 1982, Philadelphia pennies normally didn't carry any mint mark. But because nearly all pennies that year were minted in Denver, with the D, the Philadelphia no mint mark pennies became incredibly scarce. Chart showing mintage numbers. Denver versus Philadelphia pennies. Only about 2.5 million pennies without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia in 1982, compared to over 6 billion Denver pennies with the D mark. That means the no mint mark penny is rarer by a huge margin. Close up on the no mint mark penny next to grading scales. So you might be asking, okay, it's rare, but why $1.5 million? The answer comes down to a few key factors: condition, rarity, and collector demand. Show a coin grading scale from good, G, to mint state, MS, 70. Coins that have been kept in perfect or near-perfect condition called mint state, are incredibly valuable. Combine that with the rarity of the no-mint mark penny, and you have a recipe for a high-priced collectible. Newspaper headline about a rare coin auction. In 2018, a 1982 no-mint mark penny graded MS-67 by a professional coin grading company sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right. A single penny fetched more than $1 million. Auction footage or reenactment showing intense bidding. This was a record-setting moment and proves just how valuable rare pennies can be. Hands holding a magnifying glass over a 1982 penny. Now, if you have a bunch of pennies at home, here's how you can spot the no-mint mark version. Look at the front of the coin right below the date. If there's no demint mark, you might have one. Check the condition carefully. The better the condition, the more valuable it could be. Compare it with a known Denver demint mark penny to see the difference clearly. Side-by-side comparison of 1982 penny with and without demint marked at a person inspecting coins and writing notes. If you think you've found a 1982 no mint mark penny, here's what you should do. Don't clean or alter the coin. This can reduce its value drastically. Get it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Consult with a reputable coin dealer or auction house to understand its worth. Consider selling it through an auction, which can bring out the best price if it's in great condition. Montage of rare Lincoln pennies, 1909 SVDB, 1955 double die, etc. While the 1982 no-mint mark penny is incredibly valuable, don't forget there are other rare Lincoln pennies collectors chase. Coins like the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die can also be worth thousands, or even millions, depending on condition. So, if you're in the age group of 30 to 70 and have old coins tucked away, it's worth taking a closer look. Sometimes, what seems like just a penny could turn out to be a treasure worth more than you ever imagined. Encouraging on-screen text. Check your coins. You could have a fortune. Remember, the coin market is always evolving. Stay informed, be patient, and if you're unsure, reach out to professionals. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's reportedly worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's unlock the secrets behind this incredible penny and how you might have a fortune hiding in your own coin jar. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1987 Lincoln penny is one of the most common pennies produced by the U.S. Mint. Millions were minted that year. But here's the twist. Most of these pennies have a small demint mark, meaning they were minted in Denver. Some have no mint mark, meaning they were minted in Philadelphia. But here's the catch. The Philadelphia minted 1987 pennies are extremely rare with no mint mark at all on certain batches. This no-mint mark penny from 1987 has been generating buzz because a few specimens have been found to have unique production errors or variations, which could send their value skyrocketing. And some collectors have even valued them at up to $1.8 million. But why does a tiny 1-cent coin suddenly become worth so much? It all comes down to rarity and collector demand. Coins with errors, like missing mint marks, double strikes, or unusual planchet errors, are incredibly rare and prized by collectors worldwide. For the 1987 Lincoln penny, the lack of a mint mark when it should be there is a rare minting error. Since most pennies minted in Philadelphia after 1980 have no mint mark, what makes these pennies extraordinary is the exact variety and any additional mistakes in their production, such as double dies or off-center strikes, which make them stand out from the millions of regular pennies. Check the right side below the date on the coin. If you don't see a D or S mark, that's your first clue. It should say 1987 clearly. No smudges or irregular fonts. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin carefully. Look for doubling on the date, missing letters, or any strange marks. These anomalies can make a coin exceptionally valuable. The better the condition, shiny surfaces, minimal scratches, or wear, the higher the value. Coins graded as MS-65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC fetch the best prices. Recently, some of these 1987 no-mint mark pennies with specific minting errors have sold in auctions or private sales for prices ranging into the millions. Yes, some reports list figures as high as $1.8 million. This figure can sound unbelievable, but it highlights just how much collectors are willing to pay for extreme rarity and perfection. That's why it's critical, if you think you've found one of these coins, to have it authenticated and graded by professionals. So, what should you do if you find a 1987 no-mint mark penny in your collection or your loose change? Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the coin and severely reduce its value. Contact a reputable coin grading company such as PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin's authenticity and grade its condition. Reach out to coin dealers or auction houses that specialize in rare coins to get an accurate market value. Whether through an auction, private sale, or reputable coin dealer, make sure you get the best deal possible. Your coin could be a life-changing asset. And this isn't just about the 1987 penny. Many people find themselves with old coins they never realized could be worth thousands or even millions. So, take a moment to sift through your coin collections, your jars of loose change, or old boxes in your attic. You never know what hidden treasure you might uncover. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, and why collectors are going wild over it. First things first, what exactly is this coin? The 1988 Lincoln cent looks pretty ordinary at first glance. It's copper-plated zinc, features President Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Just your everyday penny, right? Well, not quite. Some of these 1988 pennies are missing something very important. The mint mark. Normally, pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so you might think that's no big deal. But here's the twist. There's a very specific 1988 penny without a mint mark that's incredibly rare because of a die error during minting. This isn't just a random missing letter. It's tied to a major mistake involving the wrong master die, a piece of minting equipment that creates the coin design. Now here's where the money comes in. Collectors and numismatists discovered that this error coin, a 1988 penny using the 1989 reverse, has a rare combination of features. It's called the 1988 No-FG Transitional Error Penny. Why no-FG? It's because the designer's initials, FG for Frank Gasparo, are missing from the reverse side due to the incorrect die being used. That die was originally meant for the 1989 penny. Combine all that, and you've got a coin that can sell for tens of thousands, even up to $1.6 million, depending on its condition and authenticity. Alright, now here's what you really want to know. How can you tell if you have one? Look at the front. Does it say 1988? Good, check under the date. Is there a mint mark? If there's no letter, that's a possible candidate. Flip it over. Do you see the tiny initials FG to the right of the Lincoln Memorial? If they're missing, you might have something very special. But warning, not all no-mint mark pennies from 1988 are valuable. It's only this unique error version that matters. You may want to get a professional appraisal or send it to PCGS or NGC, the major coin grading companies. Let's talk money again. How much are people really paying? A verified 1988 no-FG penny in near-mint condition has sold for over $25,000. Unconfirmed rumors and collector buzz claim a high-end specimen could fetch $1.6 million if the right buyer comes along. Remember, rarity plus condition equals high value. This isn't just a collector's fantasy. Coins like these are gaining attention in auctions, estate sales, and private collections. Here's your next step. Don't clean it. It lowers the value. Handle it gently, by the edges only. Use a magnifying glass or take clear close-up photos. Contact a certified coin dealer or submit it to PCGS/NGC for authentication. Do your research. Look for expert opinions and don't fall for scammers. Even if it's not the $1.6 million version, some of these coins are worth hundreds or thousands. Check your drawers, jars, and collections. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your hidden jackpot. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more rare coin tips, and comment below if you found anything interesting in your own collection. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a valuable coin update. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in American coin history, the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this tiny copper coin has been valued at an astounding $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1 million. If you or someone you know has an old 1991 penny tucked away somewhere, this video could change your life. Whether you're new to coin collecting or just curious about your stash, I'm going to break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to spot it, and what steps you can take if you want to sell it. Introduction to the 1991 D Lincoln penny. Let's start with some basics. The 1991 D penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been minted since 1909. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this penny was produced. Normally, these pennies are pretty common and worth just a few cents to collectors. So how did this particular 1991 D penny become worth over $1 million? The mystery and rarity behind the 1991 D penny. The secret lies in rarity and an error known as the double die obverse, a minting mistake that causes the design on the front of the coin to appear doubled. This kind of error is incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. In this case, the doubling makes the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear doubled or blurry. What's fascinating is that only a very limited number of these error coins are known to exist, making them ultra-rare. Why $1.7 million? Now, you might be wondering, how do we get from a penny worth a few cents to $1.7 million? It all comes down to condition and collector demand. When a coin is graded by experts and comes back in perfect condition, known as Gem Mint State 70, it's basically flawless. A 1991 D penny with this double die error and that perfect grading is considered a numismatic treasure. In fact, a few of these coins have sold at auctions for incredible prices, with the highest reaching $1.7 million. This sets a record for pennies and shows just how valuable rare error coins can be. Let's talk about spotting this coin in your collection. Here's what to look for. The D should be clear, indicating Denver Mint, doubling on the obverse. Look carefully at Liberty and In God We Trust for doubled or blurry letters. Condition. The coin should have sharp details with minimal wear, no scratches or discoloration. If you have a 1991 D penny and it looks like this, you could be sitting on a fortune. What to do if you think you have 1 inch all right, so you think you might have a valuable 1991 D penny. What's next? Here's a step-by-step guide. Don't clean or alter the coin. It could reduce its value. Take clear, close-up photos from multiple angles. Get the coin professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. If graded highly and confirmed as the rare double die, consider selling at auction or through a trusted coin dealer. Remember, scammers are everywhere. Always deal with reputable professionals or auction houses. Real-life stories and conclusion to inspire you? Here's a quick story. A collector in the Midwest found a 1991 D double die penny in an old coin jar. After professional grading, they sold it for a life-changing amount close to that $1.7 million figure. It just goes to show, treasures can be hiding in plain sight. So, if you're sitting on old coins, take a closer look. Your dusty penny jar might just be a gold mine waiting to be discovered. We're diving into the famous, or should I say infamous, 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln cent that's rumored to be worth up to $1.6 million. That's right, one single penny that could buy you a house, a car, and your dream vacation. But is it real, or just internet hype? Stick around, because I'll show you exactly what to look for on your 1993 penny, and tell you what it's really worth, how to spot rare errors, and what collectors are actually paying right now. Let's start with a little history. The 1993 Lincoln penny was minted in huge numbers, over 6.6 billion coins. Most were made in Philadelphia and Denver. If there's no mint mark, that means it was made in Philadelphia, and that's perfectly normal for that year. But here's where things get interesting. The myth of the $1.6 million 1993 penny comes from rare errors, minting oddities, or extremely high-grade versions graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. There are blog posts, viral videos, even social media reels claiming this penny is worth $1 million. But the truth is, number 1993 penny has ever sold for $1.6 million. The most valuable ones are perfect condition, graded MS-69 or MS-70 unique mint errors, like double dies or off-center strikes proof-like finishes that slipped into circulation by accident in 2019. A pristine 1993 penny graded MS-69 red sold for around $4,000. That's impressive, but not even close to $1.6 million. Look for no mint mark under the date. That's normal but still worth checking. Inspect for any errors, like doubling of letters, cracks, or missing features. Check the coin's color. Bright red is best. Dull brown or black, probably just pocket change. Weigh it. It should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, you may have something special. $1, $5, $50, $4, 000 up to $10, 000 plus. If someone tells you their penny sold for $1.6 million, ask for proof. So far, no verified sale at that level exists for a 1993 cent. Use PCGS or NGC. Look up recent sales on eBay or Heritage Auctions. Join Facebook groups or coin forums. A great way to learn fast. Don't send your coin to anyone without doing research. If you're serious about million-dollar pennies, keep your eyes peeled for worth up to $1.70 million, worth $50,000 plus over $75, 000. These coins are extremely rare, but they do exist, and yes, a few people have made big money off them. So, is your 1993 no mint mark penny worth $1.6 million? Probably not, but it might still be worth hundreds or even thousands. And that's why it pays to check your change. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure hunts, and comment below if you've got a 1993 penny. I'd love to hear about it. We're diving into the 1985 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, how to spot the rare ones, what makes them valuable, and how you can cash in if you're lucky. This is a video you don't want to miss. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates on valuable coins hiding in your change jar. In 1985, the U.S. Mint produced over 5.2 billion pennies at the Denver Mint. That's what the D Mint mark stands for. Most of these are still only worth face value, but a few rare ones with errors or unusual features have sold for incredible amounts. One example allegedly sold for over $1.6 million, sparking huge interest in collectors and sellers alike. So how can a common coin become insanely valuable? Comes down to rarity, condition, and errors. The $1.6 million coin was in nearly perfect mint state condition, possibly graded MS-68 or higher by PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading companies. But here's the catch: what really made this coin valuable wasn't just the grade. It was a combination of being extremely rare, potentially having a double die error, and possibly being made from a wrong metal planchet, such as a bronze planchet instead of the zinc-coated penny blanks used after 1982. Below the date on the front, obverse, especially on the word Liberty, the date, or Lincoln's, I use a scale. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams. Zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams. The better the condition, the higher the value. Some collectors even use a microscope or a jeweler's loupe to spot these tiny differences. You can grab one for less than $10, and it can make a world of difference. Think you've found something special? Here's how you can sell it the right way. Get it graded, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Do not clean your coin. This can ruin its value. Research online auctions, eBay, Heritage Auctions, and great collections. Contact a reputable coin dealer. Look for members of the American Numismatic Association, ANA, and always get a second opinion. One dealer might offer you $100, while another might offer you $10,000 or more. Remember, finding a $1.6 million coin is like winning the lottery, rare but not impossible. The key is knowing what to look for and taking action. So go check those old coin jars, your sock drawer, even your grandpa's collection. You never know what treasure is hiding there. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin videos, and comment below if you think you might have a valuable coin. We'd love to hear your story.